Hey everybody, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy. Alright everybody, for those of you that know the drill, I go over a bunch of comic books for the week that I chose to read. Now I didn't have time to read everything, so if I missed something you think I should have read, let me know in the comments below. Also, you may disagree with me on some of my choices. If that's the case, that's alright. Let me know below. Let's just try to keep it civil. My goal is to bring back the old schoolyard days, where we would be in discussing what hero could beat who or what comic book was good and not. And I come armed with my trusty notes, so you'll hear the paper rattle because I do it a little bit old school. I do my grading on a scale of 0 through 10, 7 being average as a 70%. So I'm using schoolyard grading. But that's not all. I also used a League of Comics Geeks to give you other people's views as well as a brief overview of the comic book as well. So let's jump right in. I just want to take a moment and say welcome back everybody that's been following the channel, and thanks for watching the videos and hitting like and subscribe and all that. The channel's been getting growth and we appreciate that greatly. My son and I and my family, we really do. And boy, after all the hustle and bustle and all the politics and uproar, it's sort of nice to go back to the old school. Hey, let's walk into a comic shop and talk about those comic books. So with that said, let's first talk about Batman and Robin issue number 13. By the way, you're probably gonna hear some noises. That's me getting rattled in my papers and my notes. Right now I'm putting on my reading glasses because yep, I'm getting old. So Batman and Robin number 13, 113 out of 120 liked it with a 4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, which is pretty close to what I gave it because I gave it a 7.8. Yeah, 7.8 out of 10, so pretty close. And let's go into a little bit of the information here. The writer is Joshua Williamson. The artist is Juan Ferreira, which I might have butchered that. It says Batman, Robin, and Bane must escape Dinosaur Island, but they are not alone. A dangerous presence is taken over and won't let anyone leave the island alive. Can the father and son dynamic duo return to Gotham, or will this be their last adventure together? Come on, this is Batman. You know, plot armor would not let that happen. We have Damian on Venom in this, and boy, does that make him deadly. Now, it's an alternate form of Venom. It's not the regular version, but still, boy, this one really puts him in a rage. Bane shows remorse for his actions in this issue as well, which is very interesting. He actually even teams up with Batman. It really is a heartfelt issue that, well, really dives into Damian Wayne. So if you're on the fence about Damian, this issue might make you feel a little bit more different, maybe even like the character more. I enjoyed it. I think you might too. I gave it a 7.8. If you're a Batman and Robin fan, you might enjoy this. Well, holy Shazam! Let's talk about Shazam. This book has some interesting alternate covers, but the main cover, I really like the cover of this issue. I think it really stands out, makes him look powerful. This is one of the issues I've had with some of the issues in the past, the way they've been drawing him in the interior art. He just doesn't look powerful like the classic Shazam that we're used to seeing, but we see it here. Well, anyway, Shazam number 15, 53 out of 56 liked it with a 4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. That's higher rating than I gave it. I gave it a 7.4. The writer is Josie Campbell, artist is Emanuela Lupicino. Sorry if I butchered names. Things go from bad to worse as the evil society behind the latest monster attack is finally revealed. Yep, with Philly literally crumbling beneath their feet, it's up to Billy and Mary to stop the city from sinking. Meanwhile, some people are eating cats. Just kidding about that. It's a joke. Don't get mad. It's a joke. Hey, no. Oh. You know, we got to be able to joke about things and laugh about things no matter what the situation is, right? Well, anyway, but the danger is great enough, is it, for Billy to utter those magic words? Yes, I think it will be. And we get some interesting updates with Freddy as well. This is a really good cover in my opinion. It's nice to see that the captain decides to fight. Decent art in this book, decent action. I think it's a fun issue. If you're a Shazam fan, definitely check it out. If you're not a Shazam fan, probably not the time to start reading this. But once again, if you've been, I don't think you're going to go wrong here. Speaking about not going wrong, I'm going to talk about another character I've liked for many years since I was a young buck. And so we're going to talk about Green Lantern number 15, where 137 out of 147 liked it, with a 3.9 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, which is really close once again to what I gave it, because I gave it an 8. So yeah, pretty close on a couple of these this week. The writer's Jeremy Adams, the penciler's Fernando Parzan, which once again, if I butchered it, I do apologize. There's no mean intent there on this one. Hal has a problem. He needs to charge his ring, but the entrance to the power battery is a continent away. Plus, the skies over Earth are patrolled by Amanda Waller's modified Amazos, which leaves Hal with one choice: to ride into the danger zone. You gotta love that, right? Don't worry though, he totally got permission to use the bat plane for this mission. No, he did not, which is one of the things that makes Hal Jordan just stinking cool, right? Because I mean, Hal Jordan's got balls of steel, and he shows it in this issue as he goes and gets into a hidden stash, if you will, of Batman without asking permission, and takes a in development bat vehicle, if you will, we'll call it that has issues, and he doesn't care. He takes it anyway. And we get, not only that, we get more continuation from this new character, Sorrow, as Sorrow makes his presence known, you know, the ex-boyfriend. And Hal Jordan and Wally in this issue just continue to show why these two make such a fun team together. I think would love a mini-series or more of these two working together. On top of that, we have Jade Stone, that's been continuing from the Absolute Power series, picking a side. Which side will Jade Stone help? Will it continue with Amanda Waller or side with the heroes? Definitely this issue is worth checking out to find that. It's good action, decent art, and a fun story. This is a great issue for Green Lantern fans. It also has a secondary story that shows that new things are in store for John Stewart. So John Stewart fans get some additional fun in this issue as well. If you're a Green Lantern fan, I don't think you can go wrong with the current Green Lantern series. Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by My Wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things to just you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out, we have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you everybody, and let's get back to the video. Next, let's talk about Absolute Power Task Force 7. Yes, make sure you know your Roman numerals there. 103 out of 129 liked it, with a 3.5 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. And here again, boy, we're having a lot of agreement here right now this week. I gave it a 7, so we're right on the buzzer there. Writer Stephanie Williams, artist is Kearney Randolph. Once again, if I butchered the name, there's no mean intent behind that. Just I suck at names. Anyway, Amanda Waller comes for the Amazons of Themyscira with an Amazo robot that has the power of Wonder Woman. Yeah, Themyscira's greatest champion. So the powers are turned very well against it. Will Waller's agents unlock the secrets of the Amazon stronghold? Or will Queen Nubai and her sisters in arms send this robot on a one-way trip to the underworld? Here's the thing here. This book really had mediocre art at best. If you're doing a book that's about Themyscira, come on now, get a good artist for those characters. Amanda Waller is the Kamala Harris of DC, right? She thinks she knows everything that's best and really wants to be a dictator while claiming everybody else is the problem. Oops, I went political. That just screwing around to bring a little joy and humor. There's a reason to this, okay? The reason I mention that is because all the uproar that's been going around. And my point is this: don't let politics ruin a friendship. That's why I took a shot at each political party here, okay? Because here's the thing. Ultimately, we're all just people. We're going to disagree on things. We can't even get people to agree on what toppings to put on a pizza. So let's just chill out and enjoy the things together that we can. So I hope you got my point there, all right? But this issue was too slow in its pacing in this issue. Issue 7 is the last issue of this mini-series, so they really need to pick up the pace here, because this issue, I just don't think cut it. Too slow, not enough to it. The art wasn't that great. The only reason I'm going to get 7 is because I'm already 6 in out of the 7-issue series. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. The next issue is going to take a bite out of my wallet. Yep, because I paid for it too. And that's DC vs. Vampires World War V #2. See how that all rhymed? I'm a poet and I do know it. 61 out of 64 liked it with a 4.1 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. Once again, I was pretty close to that. I gave it a 7.8. The writer is Matthew Rosenberg. Artist is Otto Schmidt. Yes, Schmidt. The peace between vampires and heroes is wearing thin. Lois Lane will try and negotiate a way to maintain the truce. But with the Damien's relentless attacks on the Vampire Queen and her armies, the only thing that might be able to bring them together, let's be honest, is probably a miracle. As you spend your $4.99 on this issue here. Well, I did. Damien is stirring up the pot between the humans and the vampires, and I think that's an interesting dynamic since he's a vampire too. This is a nice balance in this issue of story and action. And I think probably the coolest thing in this issue that you're going to want to see is Alfred powering up. We get more continuation of Alfred and what was going on with the GL ring. Yeah, and we get to see it in this issue, and I think that's pretty darn cool. And I think you might think so as well. Well, it's time to switch gears to Marvel. So far, the DC books have gotten some pretty strong scores from me, as well as League of Comics Geeks. Let's see what they can do from the pages of Marvel. We have starting with Avengers Assemble issue #1. Looks like it's starting strong in sales with 113 out of 151 liking it with a 3.4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. I gave it a higher score, but I might be a little biased because of Captain America. I gave this book an 8. And with that said, writer is Steve Orlando and penciler Corey Smith. Interesting dynamic here. I've got a spin-off on another Avengers title. Not a big fan of the current lineup of the regular Avengers title. This book does have some interesting alternate covers. I enjoy that. We have a return to, yes, the Avengers Mansion. Yep, when vampires attacked, a ragtag group of volunteer Avengers changed the tide of the battle. And in the aftermath, Captain America has formed the Avengers Emergency Response Squad. Steve's hand-picked team of veterans, as well as newcomers, live and train in Avengers Mansion. And when Captain America sounds the mission horn, whoever's on base has seconds to pack up and deploy. Yep, and in this issue, the Red Skull's daughter discovers a dangerous artifact. Cap, Wasp, Photon, and Shang-Chi set out to stop her. While otherwise, we get another group of Avengers as they're coming into the mansion playing a game of poker. And so we get to see and be introduced on who's coming in and getting some banter between the team members. I'm really liking this. Sin is back, causing trouble. She's an interesting villain. It's an interesting team that they're putting together. A team that with characters that I miss. I remember the Avengers used to be a couple higher tier characters, but the rest are usually been a lower tier. Not as popular. And to be honest, none of them were ever usually A tier. What I mean by that is the biggest draw to readers. They're great characters usually, but not necessarily the biggest draw. There's good art in this issue. There's good action, good characterization, and teamwork. I mean, I love the use of Cap's shield by Photon. Yeah, it's nice seeing Photon getting some attention here. This is a nice introductory issue because it's introducing us to the characters, giving us action, and building up for the future. And there's some really unexpected different team members that you might not have expected to be on the series, as some that we've been missing for a long time, like Wonder Man and Hercules. I think this is going to be a fun book. I gave it an 8 out of 10, and I look forward to reading issue #2, and I would like to know, are you assembling for Avengers Assemble? Let me know in the chat below. Now, I think it's pretty obvious my feelings of the Amazing Spider-Man series lately. Though I do say that last storyline was absolute garbage, I think this more recent storyline has been doing a better job. So let's talk about Amazing Spider-Man issue #57. 123 out of 143 liked it, with a 3.8 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. And I gave this one a 7.7, which is a big upgrade from what we've been getting. The writer is Zeb Wells, and the penciler is John Romita Jr. Sometimes I like his work on Spider-Man, sometimes I don't. The cover on this one just doesn't make a lot of sense. I know Tombstone is big, but it doesn't seem right, but maybe it's just me. Anyway, in this issue, Tombstone finds himself in prison after the brutal beatings he dished out. And, well, let's be honest, he got one himself from another Luke Cage and She-Hulk and Peter Parker Spider-Man. in the previous issue. But if you know Tombstone, you know he's got some things, some moves, if you will. This issue has good art. It's a solid story. It's interesting. I like when we get Spider-Man on this level of story more than what the mystical crap that we were getting. There's good action in this issue too, good characterization. This, in my opinion, is a much better story for Spider-Man than what we've been getting. So if you are interested in Spider-Man and you haven't been reading it because it's been so dog crap, I get it. But you might want to get maybe issue 56 and 57. You might enjoy it. I would like to know your thoughts on that one. Are you giving Spider-Man another chance, or did you tap out and say, I just can't do it? I can't come back to this. It's been so bad. And if that's the way you feel too, I really do understand, because wow, sometimes I think the only time people are reading this run, it's a lot we've seen with Dan Slott's run as well too, is because they didn't want a hole in their collection, because those books were just dog crap. Now let's talk about another issue, Captain America number 13. 57 out of 60 liked it with a 4.2 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. I bumped my microphone. I wonder if that picked up. I gave this issue a 7.5. The writer is J. Michael Straczynski and artist Carlo Magno. The cover in this issue really doesn't sell it for me. The alternate covers are much, much better. That's my opinion anyway. As the Krokian era ends, mutants need allies more than ever. And Captain America is determined to get his group of mutant change agents to the front door Cabaret alive. As death pulls out all stops to destroy them, Captain America has a choice. Will he protect the change agents or protect his own future? And if anybody knows Captain America, we know how this is gonna go. Cap shows once again that why he's so special, and that he will fight to the end for what he believes is right, no matter what the personal cost. It's one of the things about his character that makes him so great. There's decent art in this issue and good action. And this is the end. Sorry about all the beeps and noises there. This is the end of this storyline. And so if you weren't digging the storyline, this is probably, after this issue, a good idea to start picking up Cap after that. The next issue, in my opinion, does look interesting, so I'm going to be here for it. I gave it a 7.5. It was okay. As I said, this whole storyline wasn't my favorite for Captain America. Straczynski is known for this kind of story. I would rather have more of an espionage, Chuck Dixon style of story for Captain America, but that's me. Maybe you like this kind of story more than I do. If you are, definitely check it out. All right, let's talk about another brutal issue, Vengeance of the Moon Knight #1, the last of this series, because there's something with Moon Knight. They keep rebooting the series with a new story arc. I'm not a big fan of that, but that's what they're doing here as well. 145 out of 160 liked it with a 4.2 average rating, which is higher than I gave it. I gave it a 7.3. With that said, I did enjoy this issue. The writer is Jed McKay. The artist is Dev Permanic. Sorry, probably butchered it. Anyway, Mark Spector seeks out the Shrewd because Khonshu orders him to kill him. And of course, I think this is where Moon Knight, Mark Spector, is showing how he don't directly listen to Khonshu and will do what he wants. This issue does have a brutal fight that does end with a death. There's decent art in this issue, and I think it's an interesting story. If you're a Moon Knight fan, this is not the time to start reading it. What you want to do is wait, because after this, there's a new series of Moon Knight coming. But if you were reading this is the last one of it, you'll want to pick it up to get the conclusion, to know what's moving on next. I've been enjoying Moon Knight. I know I get some flack for some of my readers thinking, Moon Knight's not, and I get it, not for everybody. Matter of fact, I was never a big Moon Knight reader until the last few years. I've been picking them up more and more and enjoying them, so who knows, that's me. Are you checking out this book? Are you enjoying it? Let me know. I'd like to see that in the comments. And by the way, it wasn't because of the TV show either. not at all. So for all you Moon Knight fans, if you're interested in the next series, it's Moon Knight Fist of the Khonshu #1. So let's shift in the last and finish with a bloody battle. Blood Hunters #2. What? Oreo? Charlie? Where are my cats? Oh, thank goodness I don't live in Ohio. Okay, but that's it. I know. There we go. I get my little humor in there. Oh, okay. I get it. Once again, my point of this is not to piss anybody off. It's to try to add some levity to the situation, okay? Just for record, I'm not picking on a political candidate here. Matter of fact, I'm sort of glad this all happened because it showed some issues in that area, and the poor people need some help in that area, as there's not enough support, and hopefully they get the support that they need. So with that said, Blood Hunters #2, 38 out of 44 liked it with a 3.7 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave it a 7.5, so not too far off. The writer is Erica Schultz, artist is Robert Gill. The Blood Hunters may have only just become a team. It's only just begun, but they're already in danger and combusting. Yes, nothing like getting a group together that can't get along. Is Elsa Bloodstone's eyes all vampires deserve to be dusted? Yeah, that's how she thinks. All vampires deserve to be dusted. A little bit like Blade, I guess. And she, well, I guess maybe not as much as Blade. And she has her sights set on, yes, Miles Morales. If only she would have killed him. I think that would have been nice. Yep, Miles Morales, because he was a vampire, right? But her teammates, Dagger, White Widow, and Hallows Eve disagree violently. Boo. And the Blood Hunters aren't only facing off against one another in this issue, they have to contend with superpower vampires. Can they get together and get their differences aside? Well, you're going to have to read. There's some good characterization in this issue. There's some decent art and good action. So if this is a team that you're interested in, definitely check it out. If you don't care about these characters, there's probably no point in getting this unless you are a huge fan of the Blood Hunt, the whole Blood Hunt storyline. I'm reading it because I tend to like this kind of thing. It works for me. It's been an interesting book. I like to see more of Dagger. I like the Dagger character, so I'd like to see more books of him. I don't care about Hallows Eve or whatever very much, or Bloodstone, to be honest with you, or the White Widow. Well, I guess so Dagger's the reason I'm reading this book. Anyway, I gave it a 7.5. It's all right. Nothing earth-shaking that you'd have to pick up, so only if you're really, truly interested, probably worth getting. Otherwise, you can skip it. Well, anyway, that's my thoughts, not yours. I hope I didn't tick off anybody too much, and if I did, take a chill. My whole point in this video is, with tension so high right now, is to don't let politics ruin your friendships. I've seen it too much on social media and things, people complaining, and now we have to hate each other because we have a different voting belief or whatever it may be. We can have complete different ideas without hating one another. And that was my whole point of making those jokes. Otherwise, I usually try to stay out of politics. I have a side channel. If I really feel like I have to share my thoughts, I'll put it on that. But my goal here was hopefully bring a little levity to the situation. Take care, all of you. You know what? Let's take care of each other too. Okay? Let's be kind to each other. Thank you to these people here, because without them, this channel would not be possible. And just so you know, I know they don't all agree with me politically, and I don't agree with all of them, and I think they're amazing people. See, we can do that. Thank these people. I appreciate them all, and I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you don't mind, and I hope I see you on the next comic book review. Until next time, keep it frugal.